You mentioned Mike McDaniel. That's another guy that multiple national reporters have tied to the Browns as the next head coach. Longtime Browns beat reporter Tony Grossi with his thoughts on that.
I don't know how his interview went. I'll just restate my opinion that I don't think that's going to happen. I think they interviewed him intentionally because they like him. Also helps him fulfill the Rooney Rule. But I don't see him as the future Browns coach.
I guess my thing with why I don't think it's McDaniel is why'd you move on from Kevin Stefanski? They're too similar.
Well, it's beauty in the eye of the beholder. It's what we talked about, unless you have a better option. But yeah, I think McDaniel is a quirky personality, but very similar to the path Kevin Stefanski. And when he has good players or a good quarterback play, he looks like a genius. When he doesn't look like a genius. And I think that's pretty much how a lot of coaches are. And we talked about Stefanski. The Browns fire him. What he's like a top candidate. I know he's already interviewed for the head coaching job. I think with 5 of the 8, not counting the Steelers, openings. And so, okay, now you got people that were first in line to fire him. Well, what do they see in him that we didn't see in him? And you think of, I've heard a lot of people with Tomlin. Think about this: 19 years, 19 winning seasons. I think he's went to playoffs 7 straight years. They were 10-7. And I was talking to somebody over there. They said on sports radio they didn't hear one person defending keeping Tomlin. They were all ready to move on. You're like going, the guy won 60, 70% of his games, and people weren't happy with that. 10-7, just not good enough, So, I think Browns fans, maybe there'd be a point, but they haven't won the Super Bowl 5, 6 times. And so that's what the problem is over there. But to me, it's like you get in the playoffs, you got a chance, But finishing in the 20s, I get that you're destined to never get the quarterback unless you get lucky with a Kenny Pickett or any of the number of guys they picked. And so, yeah, I don't know. To me, it just seems the obvious is you got a great defense. Even Mike Tomlin said the defense on the Browns was the best unit, offense, defense, special teams of all the AFC North. You've got the AFC North in turmoil somewhat because you're counting on the Ravens making the right pick and the Steelers making the right pick. They're kind of due for a bad pick after what they've had at coach. But either way, there's usually some adjustment with a new coaching and new regime. This is an opportunity for the Browns to kind of reclaim the AFC North and get back in the mix. And so I still think that Jim Schwartz hires the best. And I don't know if you want to play around and say, well, Jim, will you stay if we get this guy as an offensive, head coach and we want you as the defensive coordinator? I think he might say, no, I'm going to go with Stefanski. If I'm going to be a defensive coordinator, I might as well go somewhere else.